What's going on, everybody? This is Jay from Aji and Jay. Today the purpose of this video is to review the Siswoo Cooper i7, which came from the website pandawheel.com. The device is exactly $199, but there is a coupon available in which you guys can get it for about $182. I have to say, guys, that I am very impressed with this device because it is considered a budget phone. For $182, you guys really can't expect much from this phone. And it does carry a lot of great specifications. This company Siswoo is coming with great devices. As you guys know, I got it together with this Monster R8, which is also performing great. I would say that the only difference is the screen size. One of them is 5" and the other one is 5.5, but this one has a full HD display, which is the R8. It also carries 3 GB of RAM, and it has the MTK6552. This is a very nice device, and it's also very affordable. It goes now for about $224. And again, they both can be found at the website pandawheel.com. Now this right here, guys, it's carrying the MTK6752, in which I am stunned to see that it gave it a score of about 44,000 here on the Antutu Test benchmark. And I'm gonna give you guys here the scoring very quickly because this was actually very impressive. As you guys know, I did the comparison of the Antutu Test benchmark from several different devices, and it was obvious to say that this was the winner. It is just slightly below the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And then if you go here into the rankings, you can actually see it. As a matter of fact, it's just below the OnePlus One. But have in mind, guys, that this phone is basically competing here with devices that cost over $500, as we know already. So this is a budget phone that I think a lot of people will enjoy. But before we get started on the details of this phone, let's start here with the physical aspects of it. The first thing we got on the front is a 5". It is a 5-point multi-touch screen with a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. On the top, you're going to find a 5-megapixel sensor camera. We also got the ear speaker, the proximity and light sensor. And this device also supports gestures, as we saw right there. It is not the most accurate out there, guys, but at least it's there and we can use it in certain cases. On the bottom, we got here the menu key, the home key, and also the back key. Have in mind that the home key is also a notification light. On the side, we can notice already that it is totally plain. It doesn't have any buttons whatsoever. On the top, you got the 3.5mm headphone jack together with the charging/data port. This is also going to support OTG. So that means that if you guys have one of these adapters, you can connect accessories such as mice, keyboards, and many others, including memories and gaming controls and all that good stuff that we like to use. And then on the back of the phone here, we're going to find the 8-megapixel sensor camera. We also got the noise cancelling microphone with the LED flash. We can find here the Siswoo logo, and then on the bottom it is stating to be a 4G LTE device, guys, and this is correct, but unfortunately here in the USA we're only going to get 3G with AT&T and T-Mobile. Then on the bottom we find the loudspeaker. If you open the back of the phone, we're going to notice that it does support 2 SIM cards, but just be careful when removing the back cover. And then here, getting to the back, we can see that right now I am connected with Cricket. This is a dual SIM dual standby device and supports TF cards up to 64 GB. We can also notice here all the antennas that we have. We have some of them are for the 4G LTE, some of them are for the 3G connectivity, as well as the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And we can see that the overall construction around this phone is, I would say, pretty good. I can say, guys, that this phone, the quality feels very nice and premium, even though it is made of plastic. And then finally, we got here a 2100 milliamp battery, which I was impressed to see that I can go pretty much throughout the whole day without having to charge the phone. And now with that being said, this screen is also an IPS OGS, and we're going to turn off the lights so that way we can check the viewing angles. And now that the lights are turned off, here we can definitely see, guys, that this is an IPS OGS display. The colors are very nice and vibrant, even on viewing angles. And now we're going to be talking about the software of this device. This is running the Android KitKat 4.4.4. It's the latest for KitKat before Lollipop. And the great thing is that on this phone, when we unlock it, we can see we have better animations this time. We have 2 toggles. We can just go ahead and unlock the device or go directly into the camera here. Also, if you put the phone on sleep mode, we do have great features such as knock-on features. So if you double tap on the screen, it's going to wake up the phone. Also, if we type, let's say, the letter C on here, it's going to take us directly into certain applications. We do have several letters, but in this case, I decided the letter C is matching with camera. It's a lot lot easier to identify it, and you guys can change it on settings. So if you scroll down, you go here into system settings, we're going to see that down here says smart wake. If you tap on it, it is going to allow you to change it according to the letter. You can change it to many other applications, so all you have to do is just tap on it. And as you can see, we have many applications to choose from, even the ones that we have recently downloaded, which I think is a very nice and great feature. Also supports gestures, but it is not the most accurate. Right now it is currently on, and you guys have to be very precise. As we can notice right here, it works when it wants to, but again, it is a nice feature to have. Also here, the menu key, the home key, and the back key, they light up very nicely this time. Now the home key is also going to be a notification LED light, so every time you guys get a missed call, a message, an email, this is going to blink basically, but it's not going to change colors, which is sometimes confusing because you don't know which one you got. Now here the operating system is very simplistic. Have in mind that this phone carries 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of internal storage, but we can still upgrade it up to 64 GB. And here we're going to also confirm the Android, which is the KitKat 4.4.4. This is also very nice. Now here you can see, guys, that the UI is very simplistic and it's also very snappy. I don't have any complaints whatsoever. I've been using this device as my primary device for about, I would say, 3 days now. And I have to start here with the battery. It is very impressive. Even though it is only 2100 milliamps, it's been almost a day and a half since I don't charge the phone. And as you guys can see right now, I have about, I would say, 55%. We're going to confirm that here on the battery usage. If you go here directly into the battery, we can see that right now I have used it for about 1 day and almost 12 hours. And I still have about 57%. And I've been using a lot of the Wi-Fi. The phone has also been in idle. Now, I haven't played a lot of games. I did the GPS test and also some other tests like the Wi-Fi test, Bluetooth test, and so on. And the battery is holding quite well, which is something very nice about the MTK6752. Now here I have downloaded, of course, some Google applications. I think that this phone came already with the Gmail on there, but YouTube wasn't on there, and it is working well. I would say that nowadays these devices are supporting YouTube. Before we had the Google Play services, for those who remember. So here we're going to have all my videos, and the latest one was about the quadcopter that I received. It's a very nice and fun quadcopter. Let's go ahead and increase the brightness or the volume. Alright. Have in mind that the loudspeakers on the back. Now the only thing about the loudspeaker, guys, I had to admit it is not the best sound out there, but it's definitely not the worst either. So here we're going to try to actually listen to it. And also it has the ability to play videos in HD resolution, as we can tell right there. And now one of the great things about this phone is that the camera, even though it is 8 megapixels, I think that the quality is quite nice, but the front facing camera is also 5 megapixels. So that's the next thing we're going to do here is go ahead and check out the quality. So let me know what you guys think. What's going on, guys? This is Jay, and now we're testing here the Siswoo Cooper i7 8 megapixel rear sensor camera. And I'm just going to stay quiet so that way you guys can check the overall quality of the sound or the microphone on this particular model. So that way on the comment section down below you guys can give me your best opinion on what you think about this camera. So far I can say that the focus is pretty nice. The colors appear to be a little bit oversaturated in my opinion. The microphone quality is excellent. I do like the quality, and I do apologize for the wind noise. It is very windy here in Florida today. It's a beautiful day. Okay guys, and that's going to conclude the rear facing camera, and now we're going to test the 5 megapixel front facing camera. Alright guys, and here we have the 5 megapixel sensor camera of the Siswoo Cooper i7, and we can also notice that the quality of the camera is pretty nice, but like many Chinese devices, the colors are too dark and also lacks on the focus area, as you guys can probably see here. But I think it's going to do its job. For the most part, I would say for selfies, not recording. And now here we're going to check the megapixels of the camera. Now even though it is an 8 megapixel sensor camera, guys, I think that the quality of it is very nice because if I'm not mistaken, this is made by Sony. And here we can actually see that yes, it is an 8 megapixel sensor camera, and the front is a 5 megapixel, which I think is great for selfies. Let's go ahead and flip it around here. And here we have the 5 megapixel sensor camera of the Siswoo Cooper i7. Let's go here into the quality. Let's drag it all the way here to the bottom, and we can see that in fact it is a 5 megapixel sensor camera. The great news is that this phone also carries all the right specifications. Even here on the Antutu benchmark that I showed you earlier, we're going to see that all the specs are exactly correct on this device. It hasn't been faked whatsoever, so this is definitely great to see that Siswoo is keeping it honest, at least for the most part, guys. This is a very impressive phone. I never seen any Chinese device, at least for this price. You know, I review the devices according to the prices. So if the phone, let's say if this phone was $300, I would say that it is definitely not worth it, because for that price range, you guys can get now full HD display and so on, maybe 3 gigabytes of RAM. But for the price of this phone, only about $181 or 82, I think it's definitely worth it. It is very nice and also very snappy at the same time. And then here we're going to see, guys, all the applications that I have downloaded. So this phone is holding it very well. I mean, they're not a lot, but there is sufficient to at least know if the phone is going to lag, and as we can see, the system is not lagging. And it does carry, you know, other features that we normally use. It does have, of course, wallpapers and whatnot, as we can see here. You can also control your widgets easily, and the widgets don't have any bugs, such as I've seen before on other Android devices from China. So here we can see that everything is functioning perfectly well, and I think I showed you guys here all the toggles that we have supported. It does have a few. Now it doesn't have NFC, neither has hot nod or any of that, which is also a downer a little bit. So that would have been nice if this phone supported it, because as we know, the Siswoo Cooper R8 does support both. It has NFC and also has the ability to support hot nod, and we already tested that. So this is also a very nice device, guys. So if you're looking, I would say, for a phone to play heavy gaming and get a lot of RAM, then I would definitely recommend this baby right here. It is a very, very nice and impressive device. With that being said, the next thing we're going to do here is go ahead and test the GPS. The GPS on this phone, without questions, is very good. So make sure you guys check the next clip and let me know what you think. And here we got the GPS test of the Siswoo Cooper i7. As you guys can see, it is currently working well. The great news is that we don't need to root it or customize it in order to get it working. It comes like this right out of the box. And also from inside of the house, it works pretty well. So let's go ahead and check it out. And now that we saw the GPS test, here we're going to test it like always from inside of the house. And the reason I repeat this, guys, is because some of these phones are not as good as other devices. So here I want to show you that every time I say that the GPS works well, I actually like to prove it. And it's because, you know, many times on YouTube I have seen where people doubt or people don't see it and they actually want to see it. And I understand it's because Chinese devices sometimes can be a little bit doubtful. But, you know, for the most part, nowadays they're working quite well, especially after the Android KitKat 4.4.2. Many of the bugs that we had seen before have been basically just vanished, such as the GPS was one of the biggest problems with Chinese devices, I would say a year and a half ago, where the GPS was very poor or we had to customize it and root it. But nowadays they're working out of the box, which is also a great news about these little phones. So here we can see, guys, that the GPS is locking very well. Inside of the house, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds. So the GPS, without questions, is working great. Also came here with the Play Store, and the Play Store comes already working out of the box. We don't have to do any customizations as well. As we can see, everything is very nice and smooth. All you have to do is just log in, and you also got Google Contact Sync. So it's going to sync all your contacts from Google directly to your phone. So you don't have to worry about it either. And now with that being said, here we're going to go ahead and test the browser. Right now I have it connected here with the Wi-Fi. I'm getting about 20 megabits of download speed, so let's go ahead and open it up and see how fast it's going to be. Right now I had PayPal open on here, so let's say we try ebay.com. We're going to see how fast it's going to load, but it is expected. This is on Wi-Fi. Let's open here YouTube. I think I never opened it before, so it's going to take me here into Google, actually Yahoo. So here we're going to see, guys, that YouTube is also very nice and snappy. The next thing we're going to do, as we always do, is go ahead and turn off the Wi-Fi. And now we're testing here H+, which is the 3G for Cricket. And let's say we want to reload this same page. And there we can see, guys, that even though I'm not getting 4G LTE, the 3G speed is actually quite acceptable. Let's open here Panda Wheel. And what I always like about Panda Wheel, like I told you guys before, or for those who have never seen my videos, is that they are quite honest. They are one of the rare ones that I would say are 100% honest with their products. That's because they stand behind their name. They've been in the market now for several years and they want to keep it that way. Panda Wheel has never failed me. They ship very fast and they accept PayPal, so it is always secured. Here we can see how fast they loaded the web page, and the zooming, everything is very nice and snappy. Have in mind, guys, that again, this is 3G and not 4G LTE. Let's go ahead and try here another one. Let's try dhgate.com, and let's see how well it's going to load. And as you guys can see, the keyboard is also very nice and snappy. So here we can see, guys, that everything loaded quite well. And again, I am only connected with 3G. So with that being said, here we're going to go ahead and now and test the Bluetooth. Like always, I have my little Bose speaker. This thing is about to retire on me. I've been using it now for, I would say, a little over a year. So right now we have it on Perry mode. There we go. Let's go here into the Bluetooth. Let's turn it on. I think I have paired with this Bluetooth speaker before, and yes, I have. Let's go ahead and tap on it and connect to it. And now that we are connected, let's go here back once. Let's check here on audio profiles. Let's open settings and let's check here the quality of the Bluetooth. I would say that it is quite responsive. And now that we have turned it off, we're going to test here the loudspeaker of the Siswoo Cooper i7. As I mentioned earlier, the speaker is not going to give you that loudness that we're looking for, but it's working. Like I always like to say, these phones always have their pros and cons. Okay, and there we have it for the sound test. And next thing we're going to do here briefly is go ahead and weight the device so that way you guys can see how heavy it feels in your hands. And of course we have it in grams, so let's place it on top. And this device is about 134 grams, so it's right there in between. It is not too heavy and not too light either. What I like about this device is that it feels very nice in your hands, and that's because it is made of plastic but also has rounded edges, making it very grabby. As we can see here, we can actually feel that we're not going to drop the device, and we are holding it very nice and tightly. And at the same time, we can reach the entire screen, so this is definitely great for those people who like to text with one hand. You don't have to sacrifice holding the device well. A lot of people, in order to do so, they had to grab it pretty much like this in order to be able to reach the entire screen. But in this particular model, you can hug the device with your hands and then at the same time text, so that gives you more security when holding your device. Now here we're going to go ahead and play with some applications and games that I have downloaded into the phone, so that way you guys can check the performance. So make sure you guys enjoy it. there we saw some of the performance of this device, and it is not disappointing whatsoever. The MTK6752 processor on this phone is working quite well. The great news is that this time the processor is not getting heat up by all the applications that I open and also by the gaming. Now the Siswoo Cooper R8 did get warmed up a little bit, but have in mind that they both had different processors. That's the MTK6595 32-bit processor, and this is the 64-bit processor. It's a little bit different, but again, it is very nice and cool in the back. And now here we're going to also perform a call test. We're going to be dialing 611 so that way we can check the call quality. Now we're going to place it on loudspeaker.
Welcome to Cricket Wireless. Let's get started. Press 1 for English. Marca 2 para español.
And now we're going to be testing here the ear speaker. The ear speaker is always hard to listen. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it is always very hard to listen, guys. Now, even though it's quite loud and it is comfortable to use outside with the wind noise and also traffic noise, I did find that sometimes when your other party is speaking a little bit too loud, the speaker gets a little bit scratchy. It doesn't sound as good as when they speak a little bit lower. So I would just recommend not bringing it to the max. Otherwise, you may blow the speaker on the top because maybe the quality is not so great. But for the most part, it's working well, and I was very satisfied, again, when speaking outside with the wind or also in my car. The device performs quite well. For those who are looking for a budget phone that works well, this is going to be definitely for you guys. And as you saw, also the camera is performing quite well. We tested the front-facing camera, which is the 5 megapixel in the back. Even though it is an 8 megapixel sensor camera, it is not disappointing at all. And I will also be providing some picture samples down below so that way you guys can check it out if you wish to do so. So out of a 10, I had to give this device an 8.5, and the reason that I gave it an 8.5 is because we don't have the 4G LTE capability yet here in the USA. It is only for foreign countries, which is unfortunately, at least for the ones who are living here. And also something that I never prefer on any device, regardless of how nice it looks or regardless of how well it operates, is that the volume rockers and the power button is located in one side. Sometimes when you guys want to lower the volume, it's kind of confusing because you end up pressing here the power button, so you can get frustrated sometimes. And for those who know me, I never prefer this method. I like the buttons to be separated, like the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which is on one side of the phone, then the volume rockers on the other side. It makes it a lot easier when pressing buttons. At least you know that you're not going to get confused. Other than that, this phone is quite impressive, and again, I would recommend it to anybody that wants to buy it. It's because of the affordability of this phone and also the quality that you're getting. With that being said, guys, that's going to conclude this video, and like always, if you guys do have any questions, don't forget to comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it as soon as possible. Like the video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one.